Good morning. I am in my car, not procrastinating, but I wanted to chat. I just pulled up to the gym this morning. I'm going to get my workout on. But yesterday's masterclass was so great. And I wanted to just kind of like chat about this for a second where, a couple of things, because I had a couple questions. So number one, yesterday's masterclass was specific to prioritizing self-care and releasing the guilt associated with that. When a lot of times as mothers, we experience the guilt, even just as women in general. I know some men do, but specifically this course is for women. And I have this passion to connect with women and empower women and help women because I have been through and worked through a lot of this prioritization. I think I just made up a word of self-care, self-love. It sounded really weird coming out. But anyway, over the years. And so I want to take the experience, what I know to be true, what has worked for me, that knowledge, that know-how, and sprinkle it onto you. So yesterday's masterclass was great. The recording is available on demand. So if you did purchase a ticket, you should check your email. You already got the link. If you missed yesterday and you're like, you know what, I really need that. Like I need to just start prioritizing myself. I do feel guilty when I do. I'm not really sure where to start. Join that class, get the replay. When you do the replay, you also get my 2 digital downloads that I just made, which are available on my website. The 2 digital downloads are there's a tracker. So this is a daily tracker for you to learn how to time block for your self-care. And then also there is a second digital download that I made. Is going to be a Fill Your Cup challenge. So it gives you 30 days of different tasks to try. It's going to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, working on your self-care. And then it comes with a daily journal entry. So you'll get the PDF download and you just print it out. And you don't have to print out 1 million of the actual journal entry. You can just use that as your basis and then go into a journal book, or you can print out 1 million of them and kind of look back and see, okay, coinciding with the 30 days, and I entry on the 30-day, what made me feel good, what didn't make me feel good, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what am I going to implement, what am I not. And the beautiful thing about figuring out your self-care routine is knowing what's for you, and not everything that works for me is for you, and vice versa. The replay, the yesterday's masterclass was $55. So it's on my website for $55. And that is going to get you access again to the replay and the 2 digital downloads. So it is on the website. It is probably still linked on stories as well, but, and link in bio. I hate saying that, but link in bio. It's there too. But anyway, it was really great. And I love it. And I'm so passionate about it. And what's really important to me too, to share it so much and talk about this right now, because it's something that I've been going through, where I have been a huge advocate for many years now of self-love, self-care, empowerment, all of that. And I too, just like you, struggle. And I want to share that because a lot of influencers come on here and they show up and they're to their platform every day put together. And this is not bashing anyone. This is just, they show up in their brand and it's great and they're sharing things, but where's the vulnerability and the authenticity? Like, that's important to me to always keep that. I don't want to tell you, like, I don't want to preach one thing and act like there's not times that I struggle too, because I want you to know that I have moments of struggle as well. There's times where I am going through things, and I just want to be really transparent and honest with all of you. And so, yeah, like I've been struggling the last couple months, honestly. I had put my self-care slightly to the back burner, not completely, because I still do all the things that work for me, but my routine, my specific time block routine in the morning, I wasn't tackling it, and it was really affecting my mental well-being. And so I have decided to reclaim my well-being, and 2 weeks ago, we're moving on to week 3 now, I'm back in my groove and it feels really good and I feel really healthy. I'm not 100% where I want to be, but I am almost there. And so I'm trying to get more grounded and centered, because when I am centered, I make better decisions. I'm calmer, I'm more patient, I'm happier, I'm more creative, things are flowing in abundance. And so if you've kind of felt like life is out of whack, start with this masterclass. And there's going to be so many in this series. I'm going to be continuing to do a lot of masterclasses this year, and changing them up as I go. Typically I have like a PowerPoint that I take you through, because I think a lot of people are visual learners and they need to see things as I'm talking, things that you can take away and screenshot for yourself to remember. But also I want to just do more. Someone said yesterday, I wish it was longer. So I want to do a masterclass that's like 2 hours. So there's like a learning segment and then an open segment where we can just connect, community, talk, and help one another. As I help you and you hear from other people, I think it's really important to know that the journey you're on, you're never alone. Everyone's looks different, and it's really important to know that you're not alone. Thank you so much. I love that you love my transparency. I think it's important to share highs and lows that you're comfortable sharing. I know sometimes people aren't comfortable sharing because vulnerability is a strength, and a lot of people view it as a weakness. People think if I'm vulnerable, someone can use it against me. The only thing that can be used against you is you. You're the only person who can work against yourself, because you're free from judgment, depending on what you believe in, and no one can shame you or use it against you. Your vulnerability is your strength, and by talking about the things that you need help to navigate and stuff, it doesn't make you weak, it just makes you stronger. And the red light that I do have a link for it. It's a Loom box, and I have a $280 discount code, so it's normally like $6 something, and you get it for, I think it comes down to like, well, no, that wouldn't add up the math. I looked yesterday. I think it's like $340 with my discount code, which is a steal for that specific Loom box. It's the new one, the 2.0. So they've even just made it even better. I love it. I do it every morning. I do it when I'm meditating. I've done it for Riley. It's really great for skin. So if you have any if you've got skin stuff going on, like dark spots, age spots, if you have any, like, let's say you've got a cut, acne, like, it really helps to heal that, because it also has a near infrared light option, which is going to penetrate the tissues of the skin even deeper. So it's not just a like a surface thing. I love it. I fall asleep to it. Sometimes I just put it on my nightstand, turn it on, and then I put my sleep mask on and roll towards it, and I fall asleep to it. It's just so incredible. I can't speak enough about red light therapy. I want a full body panel eventually. There's so many benefits to red light therapy. So definitely check it out. I did link it on my stories yesterday too. So if you just go back to my stories from yesterday, there's not too many. You'll see the link and you'll get the discount at the checkout for the Loom box. So that is the red light that I've been using. But yeah, I just think it's so important to be transparent and share things. And, motherhood specifically is something that, motherhood, self-care, prioritizing myself is something that I'm really passionate about, because I've always said, since I'm becoming a mother, I'm not just a mother. I think this is important for a lot of women to understand, because what happens is, in the women I've talked to of all age range, you've got young moms, you've got middle-aged moms, and you have older moms who now their kids are grown and out of the house, but they didn't prioritize themselves while raising their children. And what happens is the children leave. And then what? You don't know who you are. You don't know what your likes are, your interests. You're not really sure where to start. You feel like all you are is a mother. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that there's so much more to you than being a mother. And so my identity is not, I'm a mom and that's it. I'm many, many things. I'm a multifaceted individual. So I think it's important to remember that no matter what you're going through, and even if you're not a mom, maybe you just got into a relationship, you're not your partner. Whoever your partner is, you're not one. You're not one. And I've always said this, people be like, oh, we're like one entity. You're not, because what happens if you break up or it doesn't work out? Then neither of you know who you are, and now you're codependent. So when you speak about relationships too, so I could relate this to people who are in relationships right now and not just mothers, because I think it's important to tackle this topic of all the variety of variables in it. But, speaking about a relationship, think about when you get into a relationship with someone and the two of you just become so intertwined. Again, you break up, you have no idea who you are, you're codependent, you can't do anything on your own because you need your partner there. Or you don't want to go hang out with your friends because you don't know who you are, so you'd rather just be with your partner because you two are, one, right? So, even in relationships, you've got to be two individuals that are growing and running parallel together. You don't want to go this way and that way, right? You want to be parallel, growing together, but two separate individuals who have two different identities. You never want to become just one, because the truth is, when that happens, eventually that combusts. That does not work well. You've got to have friendships. You have to have things and hobbies that you like to do. They don't always have to be the same. It is nice when they're the same, but you've got to have things that make you you, and you go parallel. Mothers, right? Now we're talking about mothers. That was relationships. Let's talk about moms. You are a mom, but that's not all you are. You whether you are a CEO, an entrepreneur, maybe you're a marathon runner, you know, you're a wife, you're a friend, you're an artist, you're an author, you're an influencer, you're things. You're not just a mother. A mother is just a component of who you are. It's like an added thing to your resume. Because at the end of the day, and I say this with relationships, I say this with motherhood, your children grow up and they leave. And they go off and live their lives and create whatever it is they want for themselves, their identity, their families, their career passions. And if you don't know who you are when they leave, you're like, you might be codependent of them, constantly seeking them out. Come visit me, come hang out with me. What can I do for you? Maybe you're helicoptering them and they're like 30 years old because you don't know who you are. So it's so important to always stay connected to who you are. And it's okay if you've lost yourself, because many times we have. And the best part about losing yourself, like all things that are lost, you can be found. You're not lost. You've just gotten sidetracked. You're not grounded in your energy. You're not really sure what you like to do. And the only way to find out what you like to do and who you are is to tackle new things, try new things, get out there, make new friends, join new groups, activities, hobbies. You don't know until you try it. So it's so important to do all of those things. And again, my masterclass yesterday, it wasn't just for mothers. It was targeted towards women. And I feel like it's just an important topic to share, is that you've got to prioritize your self-care. It's not selfish. It's so necessary. When you do that, you're a great role model for your children. I want you to think about something. I saw a really powerful quote yesterday. I don't know why my voice is doing this. It's really annoying, and I'm trying not to clear my throat on camera. Sorry. But I saw a quote that said, be the woman you would want to mentor your children. Like who you are right now. Would you hire you to mentor your children? Would you hire you to mentor yourself? Be the woman that you would hire, that you would get to mentor your children. If you're not that role model, it's time to become that. Because there's nothing more important than you, who you are, what you role model, your behavior, your actions. And it's important to know that you don't need to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And it's about having that open dialogue with your kids, you know, and I could talk about this for days, but like, there's been times where I'm like, oh God, I'm like so scared. I have this like fear, like, I don't want to mess Riley up. I always say that, like, I don't want to mess her up. Or am I traumatizing her? Or like the other day I was crying. I'm going to tell you like a real raw moment. Like I was crying and I sat on my couch and I was just like, I'm going through it. And I was just like sobbing and emotions were coming out. And she came in the room. I was trying to like hide from her. She came in the living room and she's like, are you crying? And I'm like, yeah, I am crying. And she's like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm just stressed. Now I don't need to open up all my emotional baggage for her and tell her all the things that she doesn't really need to know, but I do want her to know it's safe to talk about emotions. I am stressed right now. I'm just a little overwhelmed, so I'm crying. Okay. So she started wiping my tears. She stood there and she's wiping my tears away and she started singing to me. And she told me her song and it was like, it's okay, mommy, you're gonna be okay. I'm here for you. I'll dry your eyes. And she sang this whole song about how I was gonna be okay and it's okay to cry and like all these things. And in this moment where normally I would have been like, man, there was a moment where part of me was like, is this okay? Am I like traumatizing her by doing this? And then I was like, no, I'm not. And, you know, and then my best friend reiterated that for me. No, you're not. You're showing her it's safe to have emotions. It's a healthy environment. I'm not like crazy and all over the place, screaming, crying, and like blaming everybody and telling her all my drama and like telling her what I'm really stressed about. But in this moment, it was such a beautiful moment where I realized that I have such a special relationship, and it's really important, again, that we role model whatever we're doing, our behavior. We are the role model for our children. And so right now in this moment, if you wouldn't hire you to mentor your children, it's time to step into that power and become that mentor, that role model for your children, for the people in your life. If you're not a mother yet, it's okay too. This is, again, not just for moms. I want you to think about Think about where you are in your life. If you wouldn't hire you, it's time to get you to be the role model you want to be, the mentor that you want to be. Because there's no relationship more important than the one that you have with yourself. You have to look at yourself every day, in the mirror every day. You got to be happy every day. Not every day is a great day, right? But you've got to be, when I say happy every day, there's going to be sad days. There's going to be emotional days. There's going to be stressful days. What I'm saying, at the core of you has to feel good. And if you're not there, it's okay. And you can get there. And thank you, Katrina. She is the sweetest thing ever. She really is. She's so aware. My child is just wise beyond her years. I know it. The stuff that she says to me, I'm like, girl, I'll say to her, where'd you hear that? Where'd you learn that? And she'll tell me, my brain. That's what she says, my brain. She's so cute when I tell her, oh, I want to keep you small forever. Like, I tell her that. Like, I want to keep you small forever. I don't want you to get bigger. I just want to love on you like this forever. And she'll say, well, mommy, God made me this way. I'm supposed to get bigger. I'm going to grow up. And she'll say, it's okay. I'm always going to love you. Like, the stuff that she says. And I'm just like, all right, kid, you're right. You're right. And it is a beautiful gift to age. And it's like, she knows that. Like, at age of 4, she knows it's a beautiful gift to be alive. And so I ask you today, what will you do with this gift? What will you do with the day that is before you? How will you take today and do one thing for yourself, just for you, not for anyone else? You think about it. I used this example yesterday, but I would like you to just, for a moment, think about your life. If you had to write a list of things you do for yourself and a list of things you do for others, if your list is like this and the other list is like this, it's time to balance it out. I'm not saying you can't do for others, but what have you done for yourself? And take it from someone who's literally poured from not just an empty cup, but an empty well, a dry, bone dry well. I've been there. I'm just getting out of there. I feel like the well is, right now, I feel like my cup is here at the top of the well. Imagine this well. And I feel like my shit was dry. Like the fucking earth was like scorched. I was so dry. And now I'm filling it up. And the well is almost full so that it can fill my cup and I can runneth over. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I have said this for years, and it is the truth. Not for 4 years, but for years and years, this has been what I've said to you. Make your bed, fill your cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. Trust me. If you don't believe me, go grab an empty cup out of the cabinet and pour and tell me what comes out. Nothing. And how we fill our cups looks different for everyone. It's just important that you prioritize filling it. And I want to help you get started on that journey. So if you need help with that, you can comment on this video, you can DM me, but this year, 2024, is about filling a cup, running it over, prioritizing self-care, and being the healthiest version of myself, both mentally and physically. I told you guys in my last live that I did 2 days ago, or a few days ago, that I've invested in a therapist. I think it's important, whether it be a life coach, a mentor. I have one of those too, a business mentor. Now I've got a therapist. I've got, the know-how of life coaching, but it's still important to have someone. Just because you know things, you need somebody else. And so I'm investing in my mental health and my physical well-being. Like, I'm going to be 40 next November. Well, we just passed. I'm 39, so I'm going to be 40 in November. Woo! And I want to be like the fucking baddest, both mentally and physically. And actually, I was talking about this. I'm done. Like, I'm not like a big drinker. Like, I like a good margarita. In the summer, especially, like, you find yourself having like some cocktails and stuff socially. But I'm pretty much done drinking, I think, forever. And the reason behind it is the research that I've been reading and that has come out about what drinking does for your brain. To your brain, not for it, to your brain, to your body, and is it worth it? And it's not for me. Not when the world is just quite a scary place where health is not prioritized and we're, pushed towards unhealthy things. And it's almost like the healthier you are, the more you're judged. It's just ass backwards. So anyway, here to say that this year is going to be a great year for both mental and physical well-being, and it's time to reclaim your well-being. So if you're with me, you can comment, I'm with you. If you want help, you can comment, help me with my self-care, help me get on track. Let's connect, and let's get you stepping into the best season of your life where you are the healthiest. All right, reclaim your well-being. Love you guys. I'm gonna go get my fitness on, and it's snowing here in New York.